Welcome back. Here we go. I thought this time around we might talk about door knocks or connects. They're the same thing, but if we talk doors, let's start thinking about connects and let's add some detail in here. This, especially when you're a new agent, is a really cost-effective way of generating a business and finding out people and connecting with them, obviously, but also finding out who's out there and who's thinking of selling. But that is not quite the outcome we're looking at. So we'll jump in with some detail. First one I'm going to give to you is time frames and time periods. So pick a time, put it in your diary, and it's a time when you think people are going to be home. Now, you may need to do some during the day and your hit rate is going to be lower, but you know that there's times when people are at home and aren't at work. We're not in the COVID period now. More and more people are going back to work. You can see that in the traffic as you drive, in particular in our city around Auckland as you go. So you pick the time frame and you allocate this task. It is what I call NN, non-negotiable. You don't get to change it for anything else. I know you're going to try and dodge and do something else and say, oh, I didn't have time for door knocks. No, non-negotiable. Goes in your diary, it's consistent, and it's a fixed time period as you go through. Now, once you've got that discipline and you're repeating this, and it's a good use of your time, very good use of your time, especially, as I said, if you're new, but even for some of the existing agents in today's market, your hourly rate, to be honest, is very low. A lot of people aren't earning much, so your hourly rate is low, so you should be out there using up those hours. It's cheap. It really costs you nothing. Now, have some detail in there. You'll have your streets and you'll have your farm area, and you're going to repeat in your farm consistently. Don't race all over town picking a new area. Don't follow your listings around. Oh, I want to do door knocking around this listing. Go back to your farm. The person who is most familiar to the vendor is the one who's going to get the job, as well as trusted. And one way to build trust is through consistency. And a lot of agents don't have consistency. Vendor sees them once, property owner sees them once, never to be seen again. So get into your farm, have consistency, put it in your diary, run it through. Now, with those streets that you've identified, as I door knock through, I'm recording a couple of things. I'm recording where I started and I'm recording where I finished. So if I finished at number 17, next week on that street, I start at number 19. So I don't miss anybody as I go through there. And I'm also recording the connects. So now I'm starting to add data within my farm area and I know where the gaps are. There will be some connects or door knocks which are basically random. And what I mean by random is you've saturated the area, you've done sequence after sequence after sequence, and you can't find anybody at, I don't know, number 27. And then one day, because you're driving through your farm area, there's a car in the driveway of number 27. Boom, stop, door knocks. So that's when you're going to capture the random one as you go through. The rest of them are in a schedule, a sequence, and it's non-negotiable. Uniform, brand, whatever your brand is your uniform. So if you're a suit and tie guy, if you are suit, white shirt, no tie guy, if you're a lady, well-dressed, whatever your brand is, stay consistent with that as you do your door knocks. You are in real estate mode. So don't dress down as you go. I'll give you one opportunity to dress down, but it's not now as we do the door knocks. Next one, have a connection plan. Now, or a reason. You might say, what's the reason? Have some tension around this. Normally, when we're looking for a reason or looking for a script, what we're trying to get is the props for our show, for the act, for you turning up. You're going to go, I need to carry this. What will happen if I haven't got something? If you've got personality and you can knock on the door and say hi, you can connect with them anyway. The overall outcome we're after is, in fact, that they become familiar with you. Don't think they're just going to list their house with you. Become familiar with you. So, but you may need some props along the way or some reasons. At the beginning, guys, I would suggest that you're using your business card and that you stick a magnet on the back. As goofy as it is, people still put magnet things on fridges. And we see that when we go inside houses. So if you want to start with that, just take your business card that you've got, put a magnet on the back, hand those out and say, hey, just throw it on your fridge, guys. I'm here. I'm the expert for your local area. If you need a hand with anything in this area, just phone me. And they'll put it up on the fridge. Some will throw it away. don't worry. It's only the first touch. Now, if you want to spend a bit of money on that and upgrade that, maybe the calendars. I love the calendars that the guys do with magnets. And it is, and I know this as an agent, it's off-putting when I go in to try and secure a property and some other agents' magnets on the fridge. I go, oh, look at that. Have they got a relationship there? So good idea to get your magnet up on their fridge. Next one might be papers. Now, I actually did newspapers on a Sunday drop. I knock on the door, hand over the local newspaper or the Auckland newspaper and say, here's the paper, just enjoy it. If I can be of service, give me a shout anytime. And I had my business card stapled to the top of it. Now, that's going to cost you a few bucks per paper, obviously. And I found there's only so many I could do. So my door knocks at that stage started at 50, but that was a big wad of papers. And then I just did 25 on a Sunday morning. But I think I probably had the best connection rate in real estate and the best response ever off doing the newspapers. Now, other people will tell you that you're doing market reports. In my mind, I'm doing a sequence of connects with them so they become familiar. After I've done a couple, then I'm going to ask them for something. Now, you can go, and trainers are out there, coaches, mentors, agents are out there saying, knock on the first door and ask them, if they'd like a report, and then get their data off them. And other ones are saying they're laughing at agents like me. They go, hey, he didn't collect any data as he went. I think there's a number of touch points before I ask for it. So I'm quite happy with that. You might be faster and better than that. Just absolutely go for it. But at this stage, after I've done those initial ones, I'm back in there and now I'm just very simply saying, hey, there's people in your area, people in your street, people in the street behind us that I'm giving a market report to. It's a non-selling market report. So I know you're not coming to the market, but it just keeps giving them these data points saying, here's where the market is and here's what the trend looks like. So that further down the track, if you're thinking of selling with an agent, you know which way the market's trending, or you can start having an idea in your mind of where the price is. So they get the report, comes out every month. If you'd like a copy, I'll do the same for you guys. And I think if we introduce that at the right time, you have a huge uptake. And at that stage, you'll gain their data, email address, contact details so that you can stay in touch. Here's what I would suggest from that point on is now every month you're delivering that report, hand delivering it to them, knocking on the door, dropping it off, saying, here you go, James, here's your report for March. Anything change or you need a help, just need a hand, give me a shout and I'll come and look after you. And then moving on. So that's the sort of thing I would do, having your drop plan or your reasons for the drops or the door knocks as you go. I'll do drops now. Now, to supplement the connects that you're doing there, I think you need another layer in there, which is your drops, which is the stuff you're putting into letterboxes. And these will be flyers, these will be cards, they can be information. They can also be your other listed or your other solds that are coming through. And I'm still a fan of doing that in your farm area, and I don't do it around the house that you're selling. I don't believe that we're right when we believe knocking on the neighbor's door means the neighbor's going to come and buy it. And I don't think the neighbor is going to list with you. I think the neighbor will list with the agent they're most familiar with and have a relationship with if they are tempted to sell because they saw a house sell in their street. And that's why I go back into the farm and invest my time in there. I do that with consistency as opposed to these random occurrences that don't repeat and agents wonder why doors are harder. Whereas I do it in the farm, it's nice and easy. So you get those drops in. Key point on the drop, there really is only a couple of things you're trying to get through there, is your photo in brand, in your uniform, big enough that they recognize you. Yeah. And then secondly, that it's got your name on it. The rest of it, guys, absolute nonsense. So brands help. Yeah, I'll give you that, whatever your company brand is. But mucking around with, am I gold letters, platinum letters? Is it my initials, not my initials? No one gives a monkey. That's just nonsense. It just impresses you. Stand in your mirror and look at your initials. What a waste of bloody time. Get out there with your face and your name. Your face and your name. If you don't like your face, somebody will. Your mum does. So you'll be fine with that anyway. Now, stay local. And this is in adding into the layers. So in my farm area, that's the only place that I stop and have coffees. In my farm area, that's the only place I do my shopping. In my farm area, that's the only place where I gas up. So you really got to be seen by people now because they've seen your face over there. Then they see you gassing up and go, oh, I think that's the real estate guy. Or they see you in the shop, oh, that lady's in real estate. You know, her name's selling, and they start to put it together. Might be the liquor store. Obviously, that's a joke. You shouldn't be in the liquor store. That's just the poison killing you. So you won't do that one. And last one, if we wrap it up on this, the last one, rejection. I didn't want to start with that. I'll just finish with that. Rejection, you really got to sort this one out in your head. We don't have people kidnapped when they do door knocks. So that answer and that bit of nonsense that you're using as an excuse is gone. Absolute waste of time. Forget it. If you're in real estate, you need to connect with people. You're not going to, rejection is if you create the wrong rules for yourself. If you think when you knock on a door, they're going to list with you straight away, that's a hard gig. So change the rules. So, and if people in real estate, 3% of the population over the years at any one time is in real estate. 3 people out of 100. That's all it looks like. So it's literally nothing. So 97 people or 97% have no interest. So here's what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change my rules around it. I'm not looking for the listing. I'm looking for a connection and to develop a relationship where they are familiar with me and they trust me through the consistency and the service I demonstrate. Then they will choose me at a certain point in time to be their agent. And if I had to put a mark on how long does it take, I think the average is around 18 months. So it might be a year to 2 years of staying in touch with them, and they go, I'll tell you what, I think I can rely on you and trust you. Come and tell me what my house is worth. So rule at the very beginning, not aiming for the lucky one and getting disappointed with the rejection of the rest. But all I'm aiming for now is that I make a connection with them and I make them smile. Now, you might think that's goofy, but I think that's an easier way to do business. If I make them smile, they'll remember me, and then they'll like you. And here's the thing. People do business with people they like or who are like them. So if you can make them smile, bing, tick, they like you. And if you're in the right farm area, you look like them. So that's what I'm aiming for. So I hope that's been helpful. Really, doors are a powerful, cheap way of getting out to your market in a business that's not about selling, but it's all about prospecting. So there we go. Now I think it's cup of tea time. Hope that was of value to you. Ciao.